What's going on, guys? I am the Wellington here, bringing you my very own predictions for this Sunday's Summerslam. Now, with Summerslam being only a few days away, I've decided to let you guys know what I think's going to happen. So it's going to be a pretty long video, so just sit back, relax and enjoy. So let's get started by talking about the matches on the card. There's Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev, the Dead Man, The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, John Cena versus Seth Rollins in a champion versus champion winner takes all match, the Wyatts versus Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, Sheamus versus Randy Orton, Team Bella versus Team Bad and Team PCB, Ryback versus The Big Show versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship, Kevin Owens versus Cesaro, the Primetime Players versus Los Matadores versus the Lucha Dragons versus the New Day for the Tag Team Championship, and finally Stephen and Mel with Neville against Stardust and King Barrett. Now that looks like it's going to be a pretty good pay-per-view card. It's probably the best that we've seen in a long time. There's some very stars competing against each other with a few matches we haven't seen before, and it could really make the career of some of the superstars in the event. Now let's get started with the basic matches. What I mean by that is the matches I'm not too excited about, either because they're overhyped or I don't like the stars or I'm just not that bothered with them. So first of all, I'm going to start with a Fatal 4-Way match. Do they even call them Fatal 4-Way matches anymore? Probably not. Anyway, I believe that the New Day will walk out tag team champions because they've been getting such a huge push lately, and I feel that even though the Primetime Players are good performers, I just don't think they've got the charisma and the ability to carry the tag team division like the New Day can, and they are great heels. They're probably one of the best heel tag teams I've seen in the division in a long time, if ever. They could walk out the doors tomorrow and I wouldn't care. I hate them that much, but that's what makes a good heel. You've got to be hated by the fans, but you've still got to be good enough to be able to be like, yeah, so what. Anyway, now I'm going to talk about the Randy Orton versus Sheamus match, where Orton will reign victorious. And I'm sure Sheamus will have the upper hand for the majority of the match, and then Orton will have a few comebacks here and there, but nothing major. And then there'll be a comeback from Orton, Sheamus will hit a bro kick, Orton will kick out, there'll be another bro kick or another big move by Sheamus, Orton will reverse it and hit that RKO out of nowhere, which we all know and love. Next up we have Stephen Amell and Neville versus Stardust and King Barrett. Now I believe the winner of this match will be Amell and Neville, because celebrities always have a tough time in WWE. However, with all the hype to this match, I can see WWE making the Arrow Star go over. This would be a great deal business wise and pretty much through common sense, since it's unlikely that Stephen will be making his long term debut this Sunday. He'll probably be in for a match, maybe one more maximum, but that's it. It'd look a lot better and is more likely because Neville has got such a big main push since coming up on from NXT from the main shows. Now let's get on to the Divas Revolution, or as I like to call it, the Devolution. Now I left this until the last of the unimportant matchups because I really just don't see potential in this matchup. I mean, yeah, it's great more divas are in the pay-per-view. They're getting more TV time, and rather than having two divas on the card, there's like 9. There's 3 teams of 3. Yeah, 9. But I just can't see any potential that these divas have from the match. It's like the WWE Universe said give divas a chance, and the writers were like, okay then, we'll give them a chance, let's just throw them all in a ring, give them a 10-minute match rather than a 3-minute match, and the story's just undeveloped and it's being shadowed by the Divas Revolution, and people are expecting a flawless match, which no match is flawless. That's just not how wrestling is. Everyone makes mistakes, and people are expecting this awesome tearing of the house down just because of this whole Divas Revolution facade. But onto my prediction, I can see that Team Bella will be eliminated early because people know what the Bellas are like, whereas the other divas have been, I don't know what the word is, maybe overcast, because Nikki is a Divas champion, so she's gonna get a lot of TV time, and Sasha Banks and all those from NXT will have had TV time, but they haven't had TV time on the main show, on the Raw, on the SmackDown, on the WWE pay-per-views, and not just the NXT takeover. So I think business-wise, it'd be better to get the Bellas out the picture and focus on Paige, Charlotte, Becky, Naomi, you know, just everyone else in the match. Now let's get on to my opinion of the more promising matchups of the night. First off, we've got Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. I would just like to say that this is probably one of the most promising matches on the entire card. Two superstars that have both been given huge pushes in the past, and they've got superb abilities, but they just seem to fall under the radar. Like, I can see Cesaro gaining the upper hand and Kevin Owens luckily getting the win from a cheap shot or maybe even a huge spot. But this has just got the potential to be a massive, massive match, and it could put both of them over, whether they win, lose, draw, or whatever. But they need to have time to do that. They can't put on an awesome match in a 5-minute slot because there's not enough time to do anything. Next up, we've got Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler. For the win, I'm gonna go with probably Dolph Ziggler, because it's a good old bad guy treats girlfriend wrong. Good guy gets a girl and then gets a win, and then they run off into the sunset happily ever after. But I don't think the rivalry will end here. With Ziggler being injured and then coming back and beating Rusev, it doesn't really show a clear winner, if you get what I mean. It sort of doesn't seem to come to a head. There's no climax. So I think they should probably end up doing something where, because there's lots of tension between Summer Rae and Lana, that is obvious, so they could do something where Reigns and Ambrose getting the win, because the Wyatt family have screwed over Roman Reigns since Money in the Bank. Bray Wyatt has had the upper hand for months now. We all thought it was going to come to the end at the last pay-per-view, and then Luke Harper came out and he cost Roman Reigns a victory. So then it just set this match up, and I think it would just be a good way to end it, like the good guys win, or it could just end up putting it in a completely different match. We don't see triple threat matches often, but when we do, they seem to be quite the bombshell. With Ryback just coming back from injury, I can see him retaining his Intercontinental Championship. So what I'm predicting will happen is after Big Show takes out The Miz with a knockout punch, and Ryback will hit the Big Show with a meat hook clothesline, and then he'll do his taunting, the feed me more, whatever it is, and then the Big Show will get up and he'll do this superhuman 500-pound shell shock. I mean, that would be pretty sick to watch. Like, I know Ryback's a big guy, but lifting Big Show up in a shell shock position, that's going to be difficult. So it may happen, it may not. We'll have to see. Then we have Seth Rollins versus John Cena in the champion versus champion winner takes all match, where I would see it going one of three ways. Either Rollins beats Cena, where maybe he cheats to win or something like that, or he could beat him cleanly, like I first said. Cena beats Rollins via a DQ or a count out, which would mean both wrestlers keep their own title, as a championship cannot change hands on a disqualification or count out. I think that's something that doesn't happen like all the time. It would be a real gobsmacked. I think it would be unlikely, but it would be good. But it would be nowhere near as unlikely, or, as Triple H would say, best for business, if Sheamus was to join the Authority. Well, he'd join after the match, but yeah. Sheamus would join the Authority after cashing in his Money in the Bank. He'd wait until the match goes on, they beat each other up, he comes running out and puts himself into the match near the end of it. Now I want you to think about this, the match is for both titles, but the contract is for the WWE Championship that's inside his briefcase. But if he put himself in the match, would he win the WWE Championship if he beat Cena, or would he win the United States Championship, or would he win both? The match is a winner takes all match, so surely he would take all because it'd end the match and it was a winner takes all match. This would put a lot of heat on him, which would be good because he's a heel, and it's good that heels have heat because that's kind of how it works. And it might possibly get him over because everyone could be like, oh, that was Sly, and then they could dislike him as a heel but like him in how his mind works. And it'd also be good to catch people off guard because it creates some buzz, and it could also set up a storyline with Sheamus versus Rollins at Night of Champions, which I don't think, not in the near past anyway, that's actually happened, but I can see it being an awesome match. And then finally onto the final match of the card, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Now with The Undertaker returning, costing Brock the championship and claiming he wants retribution, I can see Undertaker getting the win. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that The Undertaker won't have a fair loss if he gets a loss at all. Paul Heyman's documented it. Any person that's been a wrestling fan from the early 2000s knows it. And The Undertaker, well, from my knowledge anyway, has never clearly, fairly beaten Brock Lesnar, and it's been heavily speculated that Kane will return at SummerSlam, which if he would return, he would get a massive pop, because he wouldn't just be returning as shitty corporate Kane, it would be the return of the angry, hell-bent, big red machine, or big red monster, whatever they call him now, masked Kane. That way, it's not just about getting revenge on Brock Lesnar for ending the streak, it's about Kane getting retribution over the kayfabe leg break that Brock Lesnar did on him just before the Battleground pay-per-view. When Kane returns, the match could either end in a no contest or just in a savage beating by the Brothers of Destruction. I don't think it would be beneficial for either Brock Lesnar or The Undertaker to lose. In the most unlikely event, it could even set up a slobber knocking, once in a lifetime, never seen before goldmine of a match at the next pay-per-view after Night of Champions, where Sting would team with Brock Lesnar to take on the Brothers of Destruction in a tornado tag Hell in a Cell match. Now that would put asses in seats. And the reason why I'm saying after Night of Champions is because from my predictions, the Night of Champions card is pretty much booked anyway. Like the Divas, it's going to be Nikki Bella versus someone. The Tag Team Champions would be against someone. You know what I mean? The pay-per-view after Night of Champions is the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And I can't really see anyone that would be up for this intense Hell in a Cell matchup that would really shock people, that would really sell out the arena. So what I was thinking is have Sting return, so then you've got the Brothers of Destruction returning, Sting returning, and Brock Lesnar all in the same pay-per-view and all in the same match. Imagine how many tickets that would sell. You'd have people climbing onto the arena just trying to look at the match through the window or something. If Undertaker, Kane and Sting are still at the physical standard to put on a great show, which I'm sure they are, because you know it's 2 months from now, they've got at least 2 months of getting ready for the match to prepare. And Sting was actually scheduled to return at Battleground, so he was apparently in very good shape anyway, so you know, it just makes sense, because Sting could speak to Kane and be like, you shouldn't have got involved, because Sting's a vigilante. He wants to sort things out. He'll want to know why he got involved, and Kane could even turn on Sting because he'd be masked Kane. He'd be some lunatic, or the the Brothers of Destruction could go and find Lesnar on Raw, or it could even happen at the pay-per-view. But I don't think Sting would return. But it could happen. Never say never. But thanks for watching, guys, and I really want to appreciate any of you that have stayed until the end. I know it's been a very long video, but don't forget to like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and leave your predictions in the comments. I'd love to read them. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see any more of my videos. I'm Wellington, and I'm out.